I have a DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro that unfortunately took a bit of a tumble in my driveway and shattered the rear screen. It still works, I can still touch it and navigate it, but because I'm going to be taking this on a wilderness adventure soon, and I don't know if I'm gonna encounter any rain, I figured it would probably be best for weather protection that I replace this display. I ordered one from AliExpress. It should be getting here in the next couple of days, I hope. But before it even gets here, I'm going to remove the old display. And if you're seeing this video, it's because I was successful in fully replacing it, so stay tuned. What you'll need to get this off from the 2 videos that exist of someone tearing this down on YouTube, I have found that you will definitely need some of these, I like to call them guitar picks. They're not really guitar picks, they're just picks. You could use a guitar pick though. A Dunlop orange would probably do you just as well. You will also need a very small 00 Phillips head screwdriver with a long shaft, something that will ideally be able to go from one side of the camera to the other, because it'll have to go from this side through to here to remove a couple of screws. You will also need some prying tools. When reassembling, you will definitely need some B7000 glue. This is a very funny bottle. Just reading it is a surprise adhesive force. This was a great adhesive. Best-selling Europe and America. Mad fans around the world. This will definitely come in handy though. If you don't have a battery powered one, then you'll definitely want one that you can plug in. I don't know if a blow dryer will do the job here. You're going to need a pretty serious amount of heat to loosen up the adhesive that is currently sitting in here. With that being said, let's get started. Okay, so it should be noted at this point in this video that it took me maybe 30 minutes to finally find a point where I could get this pick in and begin to break the seal on the gasket that surrounds this entire area of the screen. The best recommendation that I can give is to start at the corner that you see in this video. If you need a second leverage point, you'll actually see me point at it towards the end of this video. There's a spot kind of adjacent with the top of the USB-C port cover on the left of the camera that you can also use to get a leverage point. It's the only 2 spots under the display where the gasket kind of pokes in a bit, and those are definitely the points where I would recommend you do some digging. Right here is another ribbon cable that needs to be disconnected, and unfortunately they have hot glued the connector to the camera, so you will need to use the heat gun again to heat up this glue, and then use the screwdriver, or if you want to be more careful, maybe a plastic spudger to scrape that glue off. Also of note is this right here had some heat paste on it, as did this piece of metal right here. When we go to reassemble this later, we're probably going to want to put either some fresh thermal paste on it or a thermal pad. When I first tried to get this cable out of its connector, I actually tried coming in from the opposite end, but it was way easier bringing a spudger in and lifting up from this side, and that's definitely what I would recommend you do as well. Okay, and now that I have separated this cable, you can see that there are 2 holes on this cover, and those openings are where your screwdriver will go to get 2 of the screws out. So I'm going to now divert my attention to this safety warning sticker right here. We're going to have to peel that back. And there's one final screw that is actually really easy to access right here. Because of the location of this plug, you can see my screwdriver has a little bit of a magnetic attraction to the base of the camera. Those of you who own this camera obviously know that there's a magnetic attachment underneath the camera. Well, it's also on the inside. So it's probably easier if you use plastic, but I wanted to use something metal because it was a little bit tough for the plastic to scrape the glue off. You really don't want to damage the attachment on the main board behind this cable, but the cable itself is okay to damage since obviously we're not going to be using the same ribbon cable when the new camera comes in, or the new the new screen. Okay, that's all good. Now we divert our attention back over to the screen itself. I believe, at least in my case, the AliExpress screen that's coming doesn't come with this border. We're gonna have to pop this glass out and reuse the plastic outer shell, which kind of sucks, but you know, when life hands you lemons, you try and make lemonade. So let's go and get to work on this now. So the other guy that I watched do this on YouTube did a way better job than me at getting this glass out. It was just a non-stop peel and break and peel and break process for me, and I just kind of had to scrape little bits of glass all over my desk to finally get this cleared and out. But eventually, I did get all of it removed from this frame. As you can see, that really sucked. I'm gonna try and come in a little bit close here. It took a decent amount of time to pick all the glue off. You can kind of see that inner edge, it's the lighter gray. My greatest success was actually with this pick that I got from Harbor Freight in a 4-pack, and I just kind of came in underneath the already broken glass and wedged it as much as I could up in here, and then twist to start pulling up. Obviously the glass still shattered quite a bit, but I was able to get underneath everything and peel off, and then I just used the pick to peel off the last of the little glue bits. But at this point, I am gonna call this done for now, and once the new display comes in, we'll wrap this up. Once the thermal paste and the new display made its way to my house, I unpackaged everything and made sure that it looked like it was the appropriate fitting stuff, which lucky for me it was, and I got to work. The most important thing that you can do at this point is make sure that you observe the orientation that this screen goes into the display bezel. You can see exactly how I place it here, and on the back side you can see that the cable kind of runs back up the other side. There will be bend lines on the cable for you to easily reference for this. You can see the little divot where we're gonna have to put thermal paste on those two bits. And then this will feed around and plug in. From here, I made sure that I was very thorough with my glue around the entire edge of this bezel, and then I put the display in place. Be very diligent about covering every bit of this edge, and then you should be good to get this glued in, no problem, and you shouldn't have any bleeding. This B7000, this is my first time actually using this stuff. It's not necessarily super glue. It's definitely more like rubber cement, so it gets really sticky really fast, and there's definitely an element of like you feel like you've got to really quickly get it settled. That's not the case. This glue is actually going to take a while to dry. I'm actually going to step away for another 30 minutes and let this set, and we'll come back to test this display with the camera, make sure that it actually works, and then we will begin reassembly, including getting this screen properly set by putting some of that same B7000 glue in this area where the gasket sets in, right in here. Again, just make sure that you follow the lines that are on the ribbon cable and you're good here. You're gonna want it, you can actually see the bend lines in this new cable showing where it's supposed to bend to go around this little cage that holds the battery. I just screwed up and I thought it had to feed across and up and then into the display. But nope, it comes across the bottom of the camera and then across the display. So I'm gonna peel and stick this on, and then we can begin reassembly. Make sure that we've got thermal paste on these two spots that had it originally, which I do have some. I think this is just like PC processor thermal compound, but this will work just as well as the paste that was in there before. Actually, it may even work better. We've made it to the home stretch. All you have to do is reinstall the battery cage, put the screws in, and a little pro tip, what I did was use a pair of tiny tweezers to get the screw into the screw hole, then drop the screwdriver in to finish threading it in, and then putting the sticker back in place. You love to see it. Oh, that's great. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, now for the really scary part. Time to, well, first of all, let's remove the battery, and then we have to use this exact same glue inside these little crevices. You can see the gasket that kind of seals it, but obviously that gasket needs to be held together with something, so I'm just gonna fill this entire gasket area with our B7000 is a surprise adhesive force. This was a great adhesive, best-selling Europe and America, mad fans around the world. Waterproof, stimulate the taste-free anti-vibration. This corner is definitely the scariest because that's where I really pinched. So I'm gonna make sure I've got a clamp on that corner. Be wary of the lens. If you're clamping this side, I am just gonna clamp right on the lens, but I'm doing it very slowly and carefully. Plastic shouldn't scratch the glass anyway. Everything looks like it's sealing properly, so now I just let this sit for, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes, just like last time, and we'll do one more test. Okay, I did this off camera, but I completely forgot that I had to put the thermal paste on, so I did that. We're gonna go ahead and smush this back together now. This glue hasn't dried. It was real soon after I shut the camera off that I realized what I forgot. So now we clamp back on. Again, this corner is where, if you're doing this job, this corner and this edge, just like at the edge of the USB-C port cover, there's little divots, and that's where I would say jam a metal wedge or something in there. That's where you're gonna get the best look, taking the whole thing apart. Everything else is pretty flat. Gasket might be a little bit tough, but okay. Thermal paste installed. Everything is good now. We just gotta give this, like I said, 30-45 minutes to fully seal and dry, and then we make sure that everything is good to go. Okay, and while you can still see some glue residue on the display, the good news is everything works the way you would want it to. So that was a successful screen replacement. That's how you replace your screen on a DJI Action 5 Pro. If this was helpful for you, please leave a like and a comment. Let me know if you've got more questions. I'm happy to talk through anything that wasn't captured on video. And that about wraps up this video. My biggest bit of advice, if I could learn anything from this experience, is if you are doing this exact same project, spend the extra $10 or $15 on AliExpress to get the frame as well as the screen so that you don't have to go through that painful process of removing the old screen from your existing bezel. Saves you a ton of time and a ton of hassle and a ton of risk of just getting glass everywhere. Besides that, the project is not all that bad and it saves you a ton of money. I would definitely do it again. Thanks so much again for watching. Have a good one. Bye now.